Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about the topics from the transmission lines and RF system subject or transmission lines and waveguide subject. The three topics we are going to see. One is wavelength, another one is velocity of propagation, then the third one is relation between the attenuation constant and phase constant. Okay, so already we discussed that is what are the primary and secondary constant of transmission line, what is the equivalent diagram of the transmission line, and we derived the general solution of the transmission line in the previous videos. If you want to learn my previous video, I will give link in the description box, you can refer it, or in my channel there is a separate playlist is created for this transmission lines and RF system lecture video separately. And for MCQ, I created the playlist separately. So in that, the MCQ videos also there. Okay. So here we are going to see the wavelength and lambda and the velocity of propagation. So these two things are very important, 2-mark definition. So already you know the current and voltage decreases along the transmission line as the wave propagate from sending end to receiving end. Okay, so already you know in a transmission line, if you are propagating the wave from this is sender, the sender means transmitter to receiver, that a particular electric current or electric voltage somewhat decreases. Okay, so in that we are going to define the term wavelength and velocity of propagation. So what is mean by wavelength means, so already you know the wavelength, it is denoted by lambda. So wavelength is nothing but it's some length. Okay, it is related to some length. So what is wavelength means? The distance between the 2 points along the line at which the currents or voltage differ in a phase angle of 2 pi radians. Okay, so this wavelength is nothing but it's a distance between the 2 points in a transmission line. In the 2 point, either current or voltage that differ in a phase shift of 2 pi radians. That one is called as a wavelength. Okay, so it's a very important definition. It's a 2-mark question. So the distance between the 2 points along the line at which either currents or voltage differ in a phase of 2 pi radian. So it is denoted by lambda. And it can be an alternate definition is that it is also defined as the distance between any point and the next point along the line at which the voltage or current is in same phase. Okay, so that is in first point, if the voltage is having some phase shift means in next adjacent point, in which point the same phase shift we will get. So the distance between that 2 point, it is called as a wavelength. And what is the formula for the wavelength means? The wavelength lambda equal to 2 pi divided by beta. Okay, so 2 pi by beta, where beta is nothing but a phase constant. Okay, so lambda, the relation between lambda and beta is lambda is equal to 2 pi by beta. Then the next thing, velocity of propagation. So already you know the velocity. What is mean by velocity? Velocity is nothing but it's a ratio of the distance traveled by the wave by for a particular time. So the distance traveled divided by the time taken. It is said to be the velocity of propagation. So the wave travels at a distance of lambda in one cycle, for which the time required is 1 divided by f seconds. Okay, means the velocity of propagation is given by the distance traveled divided by the time taken. So the distance traveled here, you take it as a wavelength divided by the time taken. So time is nothing but it's a reciprocal of frequency. So 1 divided by f. Okay, so we may get lambda into f. Okay, so you just multiply in order to find this velocity of propagation and this phase constant relation. So you multiply 2 pi with this numerator and denominator. So 2 pi, if you are multiplying means, and this f, it will come to numerator. So 2 pi f, it is nothing but omega. And here you see the denominator 2 pi by lambda. So the 2 pi by lambda, it is said to be the beta. So that's why the velocity v can be written as omega divided by beta. So the velocity of propagation in terms of the phase constant is omega divided by beta. Okay, so this is the relation between phase constant and velocity. Similarly, the relation between phase constant and lambda is lambda equal to 2 pi by beta. Okay, then so if the phase constant for a dissipation less line is beta equal to omega into root LC. So if you are substituting this beta value here, we will get the velocity of propagation equal to omega by omega into root LC. So omega omega cancel, we will get the velocity of propagation as 1 divided by root LC. Okay, so this is the thing behind the velocity of propagation. So this is also a 2 more problem, and using this formula we will solve problems. Okay, so in the next videos, then the next topic we are going to see, it's a determination of alpha and beta in terms of primary constant. So already we discussed the primary constant. What are the primary constants of transmission line? The resistance R, inductor L, conductance G, and capacitance C. So these are all the 4 primary constants of the transmission line. Okay, and what is alpha? Alpha is a secondary constant, attenuation constant. Beta is a phase constant. So in this thing, we are going to find the relation between the secondary constant and this primary constant. Okay, so in order to derive that, so first this alpha and beta, it is related with the propagation constant. Okay, so you know the propagation constant eta, the propagation constant eta equal to alpha plus j beta. And as per the definition, the propagation constant eta equal to square root of z into y, where what is z? Z is nothing but impedance in a series arm, y is nothing but admittance in a shunt arm. So if you are substituting z value and y value, so you see what is the z? R plus j omega L. What is y? G plus j omega C. So the propagation constant eta equal to square root of R plus j omega L into G plus j omega C. Okay, so now we are going to derive the relation between alpha in terms of RLGC, beta in terms of RLGC. Okay, so that is the thing behind this one. So first one, in order to derive the value of this alpha and beta, so first one you take the propagation constant, it is equal to alpha plus j beta equal to this one. So you just multiply this two term. So we will get R into G, then j omega L into G, then R multiply with this one j omega RC, then multiply this two term means minus omega squared LC. Okay, you just expand it. Then the next step is to you just take square on both sides. Okay, so both side you take square. So alpha plus j beta squared. Okay, so you see alpha plus j beta squared is equal to, you take square. Okay, if you are taking square, the square and square root, it will cancel. So Rg plus j omega Lg, j omega Rc minus omega squared Lc. Okay, so that's one. Similarly, you just expand this alpha plus j beta the whole squared using a plus b the whole squared formula. So if you are expanding this, we will get alpha squared plus 2j alpha beta minus that is plus j beta the squared. So j squared, you know, it's a minus 1. So minus beta squared equal to this thing. So you see this one, the left side term is also having real part and imaginary part. The right side term is also having real and imaginary. So you just separate. So what is the real term available in the left side? This alpha squared minus beta squared. It's a real component. Okay. Then the imaginary is plus j 2 alpha beta. Similarly, in this 4 term, which one is real part? Rg is a real part minus omega squared Lc is a real part. So you just write a real part first plus in this 2 is a second and third term is a imaginary part. So in that you take j omega as a common. We can write Lg plus Rc. Okay. So you separate in both sides, you separate the real part and imaginary part. So next one, we have to compare. Okay, so the next step, this is step number 2. The first step is to we have to expand this alpha plus j beta. The second step is to we have to take square on both sides. You separate the real part and imaginary part. So next one, you compare the real part of the above equation to both sides. So what is the real part in left side? Alpha squared minus beta squared. What is the real part in right side? Rg minus omega squared Lc. So alpha squared minus beta squared is equal to Rg minus omega squared Lc. Okay. So from that, you just find alpha squared. So from that, alpha squared is equal to this minus beta squared. If you are giving this side means we can write it as beta squared plus Rg minus omega squared Lc. Okay. So you consider this is the equation number 1. So this equation number 1 is alpha squared in terms of beta and RLLC. We want alpha and beta in terms of only primary constant. Okay, so you consider this is the equation number 1. So here we are equating the real part. Okay, so the next one similarly in this equation. Okay, this is the equation number some A means. So in that equation number A, you just equate the imaginary part. So what is the imaginary part in this left side? 2 alpha beta. So you see 2 alpha beta equal to what is the imaginary part here? Omega into Lg plus Rc. Okay, so if you are equating this, we will get like this. Okay, then you just take square on both sides. Since the equation number 1 we are having in terms of alpha squared. So that's why you take square on both sides of this equation. So 2 alpha beta whole squared. So 4 alpha squared beta squared is equal to omega squared Lg plus Rc the whole squared. Okay. So from this equation, you just find the value of beta squared. So if you are keeping beta squared as it is, so this 4 alpha squared, it will come to this denominator in the right side. So omega squared Lg plus Rc the whole squared divided by 4 alpha squared. This is the beta squared. Okay, so this you just consider this beta squared in terms of alpha squared is a equation number 2. Okay, then the next step is we have to substitute the value of alpha squared in this equation number 2. Okay, so here beta in terms of alpha is there. Here alpha in terms of beta already we are having one equation. So in order to eliminate one variable, you just substitute this alpha squared in this equation number 2. So if you are substituting alpha squared as beta squared plus Rg minus omega Lc here. So you see beta squared is equal to, so instead of this alpha squared, we have to substitute this value. So omega squared Lg Rc the whole square divided by 4 into this is the alpha squared value. Okay. Then in this term, you just multiply this beta part to this one. Okay. So beta squared into beta squared plus Rg minus omega squared Lc is equal to this part you just write. Okay. Then you multiply this beta squared to each thing. So we will get beta squared into beta squared, beta power 4 plus beta squared into Rg minus omega squared Lc. Then this term you give it to this left side. We can write minus omega squared Lg plus Rc the whole square divided by 4 equal to 0. Okay. So you see this equation. This is the 4th order equation. Okay. 4th order equation. So in that you just consider, in order to make it as a quadratic equation, you just consider this beta squared as a some variable x. Okay, so x means, so what is this equation? This is the x squared plus x into constant minus the constant equal to 0. Okay, so this equation is in the structure of ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Okay, so already you know the solution of that quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0 means the roots are calculated by the formula minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Okay, so already you know the solution of that quadratic equation, that is 4ac divided by 2a. So this is the roots where a is a coefficient of b power 4, beta power 4. B is the coefficient of this beta squared. C is a constant. So we will get the beta squared, that is the root x. Okay, beta squared is equal to minus b. Which one is b? The coefficient of this beta squared is a b. Okay, constant b. So minus Rg minus omega squared Lc plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4a. What is the a? 1. What is the c? Minus omega squared. So minus minus it is converted to plus divided by 2a. A is 1. Okay. So in this 4 and 4 it gets cancelled. So beta squared is equal to, then you multiply this minus to each term, minus Rg plus omega squared Lc. So we may write omega squared Lc minus Rg plus or minus square root of this one. This is the beta squared value. Okay. So in this beta squared, there are two answers will be there. One is this part plus this part divided by 2. Another one, this part minus this part divided by 2. So we will get two things. Okay, in that we have to take only the positive value. You just neglect the negative beta value. Okay, phase constant. So that's why the beta squared is equal to this one. So from that, the phase constant beta is calculated by square root of. Okay, so here the instead of plus or minus, you may put only plus. So beta equal to square root of that entire answer. So this is the beta value, the phase constant in terms of, you see, the phase constant in terms of only the primary constant R, L, G, C and frequency. So from that equation, we can say that the phase constant beta, it's not a constant, it will vary with respect to the operating frequency omega. Okay, so depending upon the wavelength, there is frequency of the particular signal, the phase constant, it will vary. Okay, so similarly, so here the beta value calculated. So what is the next thing? Similarly, we have to derive the alpha value. So we have to substitute this beta squared value in where? We have to substitute this beta squared value in this equation number 1. Okay, we have to substitute the beta squared value in this equation. We will get alpha squared. From that, you just calculate alpha. Okay, so you see the next step, substituting the value of beta squared from this equation number 3 into equation number 1. So alpha squared is equal to beta squared plus RL minus omega C. So instead of this beta squared, we may substitute this is beta. Beta squared means you just remove the square root. Okay. So if you are substituting, we will get alpha equal to square root of Rg minus omega squared Lc plus this value divided by 2. So you just compare this alpha and beta value. Here in beta, omega squared Lc minus Rg. But in alpha, Rg minus omega squared Lc. That is the difference. Okay, so omega squared Lc minus Rg. Here, Rg minus omega squared Lc. Then the remaining part as it is the same. Okay, so from this two equation, we can say that both attenuation constant and the phase constant is depending upon the primary constants of the transmission line as well as the frequency omega. Okay, so the attenuation constant is also, it will vary with respect to the frequency of the particular wave traveling along the transmission line. Okay, so if the 10 kilohertz signal is traveling means the attenuation constant is different. If 1 megahertz signal is traveling via the transmission line means the attenuation constant is different. Okay, so depending upon the value of frequency, the alpha and beta, it will vary. So this is the relation between this alpha and beta. So using this value of alpha and beta, so we will discuss the next topic, the waveform distortion. Okay, what are the distortions available in our transmission line and how to eliminate it, we will see in the next video. Okay, so thanks for watching my channel and please subscribe my channel for more videos. If you want to learn the remaining lecture videos for this transmission lines and RF system or waveguides, as well as the MCQ multiple choice question and answer for this subject. So there is a separate playlist is created in my channel. You go and learn, or otherwise I will give link in the description box. You can refer. Okay, so thank you. We will meet in the next video.